Well, I had my morning started off badly because I looked at your social media feed and I realized, oh my Lord, tell me Mark Davis isn't opposed to Louisiana displaying the Ten Commandments in the classrooms. Tell me you're not against this.
It's not the kind of thing that keeps me awake at night. Of course not. But there's two things about this. There is a constitutional issue, and it's also it's an odd and empty diversion of attention. The reason we're doing this, and the reason everybody loves this, is we're owning the libs in the godless pit of hellfire that is our public schools. We're just trying to get our licks in. And I totally understand. And every student should know about the Ten Commandments. Every student should know about the Bible. Every student should know that our founding fathers were very mindful of God, and there hasn't been enough of that. So those things are on the table. What are the Ten Commandments? They are professions of our faith. They are cherished by me because of my faith. Half of the Ten Commandments are just good advice for everybody. Don't kill anybody. Don't steal stuff. The other 5 are specific instructions for the religious faithful. So, Mike Gallagher, is the Ten Commandments on the wall of a school, is that just an acknowledgement of, hey, this is part of our history and our legacy, like it is at the Supreme Court? Or something that's on the wall of a school? Please tell me, you got to know that if something's on the wall of a school, like the alphabet or a map, something's on the wall of a school that says you kids should believe this. You kids should follow this. And religious teaching is none of government's business.
Okay, so you filibustered with a nice monologue. I knew it was going to be a rough day because, frankly, anytime you're on the side of the far left of anything, I think you're having a bad day. Do you agree with the premise that a big reason for the problems that we're facing as a country is because we're turning away from God?
1,000%.
So if a governor like the Louisiana governor Jeff Landry,
who is great, who
signed legislation making it. Posting the Ten Commandments in every classroom.
Yep.
You're opposed to that because you think there's a constitutional problem.
Yeah, because in Dearborn, Michigan, if they say we're going to put Quranic verses up there, I would be the first to say, you know what? Some kids don't believe that. Don't do it. It's my consistency check. So sorry about that.
Well, it's not consistency. You're being Carl Contrarian again.
Only because it's
you're taking the other side, and you think it's business as normal. I mean, we've had this argument before. You think things are normal, and in a normal way, let's play nice with the left, and let's not offend them. Let's not offend people, because believe me, the left is livid over Louisiana. You know
Whatever.
it.
Well, and invoking all this Christian nation nonsense. Nobody is trying to create a theocracy. Absolutely no one. Nobody's trying to do that.
I went years ago. I was on a station in Johnson City, Tennessee, and I on my book tour, I went to Johnson City, Tennessee, where they have the Ten Commandments proudly displayed on the courthouse. I'm sure you disagree with that too.
I actually don't, because there's a difference. There are 2 A words: acknowledgement and advocacy. They're on the grounds of the state capitol in Texas. Totally fine. It's an acknowledgement that this is a part of our history. On the wall of there's no requirement that we have the Mayflower Pilgrims arriving, no requirement that we have. This is a cram down. That's because we don't like the way public schools are.
And that's not a cram down. It's turning back to God, and it's reminding.
Is it the government? Is it the government's job?
And if the government? And if they have a day of prayer, if they start in the classroom with a prayer, you opposed to that?
Wow.
You against that?
Of course I am.
You're against.
Of course I am.
Well,
so in Dearborn, Michigan, okay, you get a job transfer, dream job, Dearborn, Michigan. Okay, kids, here are the prayer rugs. Kneel down and face Mecca. You good with that?
So let's strip any
semblance. Are you good with that?
So let's strip anything of Christianity or our Judeo-Christian heritage away because you're worried about Dearborn, Michigan. All you're doing is being a contrarian.
This is you. Now you're being a contrarian by not listening to what I am in fact saying. No, you're not.
You're worried about a precedent.
Listening.
You're worried about a kid in Dearborn, Michigan having to be subjected to the Quran.
Yeah, sure am.
So you want to strip out
them.
any semblance of Christianity or Judeo-Christian values from every public square. You don't want prayer in school. You don't want the Ten Commandments. You don't want because you think there's and again, you're siding with the far left on this, Mark.
But does the left agree? Does the left agree with me that every student should know that the founding fathers were religious? Does the left agree? Does the left agree with me that kids ought to be taught what is in the Bible and how important it is to our culture? Does the left? And I could give you 5 more.
What the left
no.
believes.
So it's just
what the left believes is we better accept flags and signs and anything they want to put up. And you better shut up about it. But don't you dare put the But wait a minute, but don't you dare put the Ten Commandments up on a classroom wall because people like Mark Davis are going to lay down with us.
And that's the other reason we're doing it, is we're doing it to own the libs. I got 14 texts back from people who say we totally are because we're sick of the rainbow flags. We're sick of the pink-haired teachers. We're sick of the trans teachers. We're sick of all that, so we're just trying to level a playing field, and I understand that. I totally understand that.
We're sick of turning away from God.
Understand. So I'll ask you again: is it the government's job? You haven't answered the question. You haven't answered the question.
You think God would like the Ten Commandments on a classroom wall?
Do you know what? I don't think God would like government schools. Oh, I don't know what God likes. There's no evidence God likes or doesn't like. As soon as we had government schools, I then ask you last thing because we got to go. Is it government's job to turn children to God or away from God? Is it government's job to have a say in the religious teaching of our children? Yes or no, Mike Gallagher? Yes or no?
I'm trying to answer. Our government was founded on Christian and beliefs and a belief in the Creator. Our country was founded on Christian beliefs.
So that's a yes.
And any day you're against the Ten Commandments, Mark, you're having a bad day.
So that is a yes. You believe government should play a role in the religious teaching.
I'm not opposed to the Ten Commandments on a courthouse.
You believe that government should be involved in the religious teaching.
I'm not opposed to In God We Trust on currency.
Neither am I. That's
I'm not opposed to putting your hand on a Bible in a courtroom.
No, of course not. Neither am I.
And I'm sure as heck not opposed to what they're doing in Louisiana.
Maybe it is the propofol.
I think it is. I mean, I'm all on. But listen, hey, what are you doing, Rachel Maddow tonight? What time are you going to be on?
Is that the Rachel Maddow who will not have a show if Trump wins? Have you seen them these last couple of days?
Oh, they think they're going to get killed.
The harpies on The View, Nicole
They're
Wallace.
going to go into a gulag. Mark, this now CBS did the cheap fake video stunt. They're literally denying that's the approach. And you know what? Low information voters, as Rush used to call them, are going to believe it. They're going to believe it. They're going to say.
And the dirty little secret is Trump loves that these shows exist. They will give him nothing but material for 4 years of his delicious presidency.
I know.